How's it going, guys? It's Rob here, and I'm coming into the last week now of my Miami Pro World Championships contest prep. It's been a good 13 weeks so far. You know, coming towards the end now, and definitely aware and I'm quite pretty glad that I'm coming towards the end. It's been a lot tougher than I initially thought. You read a lot of things online, you see a lot of videos of people going through preps and stuff like that, but you really don't appreciate how hard it is until you give it a go. And it's, I've dieted down before, I've got in shape before, but with the stress of like the show itself and all the bits and bobs that go along with that, it just adds to it, and it really does. I find it really does start to not only play with your head, but your emotions and everything. I found the training and the diet to be pretty okay. I've definitely had ups and downs with the diet, but the emotional side of things as well, as I said, it really starts playing your head, and it gets really quite hard. But on the lighter note, it's when you step on stage, it's going to be all worth it. And it's going to be a great feeling when you're up there with all the other competitors as well, that have all gone through the same prep as you, and all gone through the same type of struggles, according in their different ways. So, as I said, I'm coming into peak week now, which is the final week, and what I'm doing is following a Lane Norton peak week contest prep, which I found on bodybuilding.com. Now, I'll put a link in the description box below where for this contest prep. But what he's done is basically break down all from the start, so from the very start of your prep all the way through down to peak week, and covered tips from like how you should go about like setting your macros. As I said, the peak week, stage presence, like tanning, posing. It's for bodybuilding, but you can then still relate it obviously to whatever you're prepping for. So I'm currently at 190 pounds roughly, so that's 86 kilos, and when I got body fat tested the other day, I was about 8%. So I was hoping to be a little bit lower, but as I said, the diet's been a bit up and down at times. I've really been struggling with it at times, and I can definitely understand why people hire contest prep coaches, because it's not necessarily for what you don't know, but it's also for that support, and for when you do have hiccups, how to kind of go about it to help get back to where you was essentially. So it's just that little bit of extra help. So when I do compete again, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a contest prep coach. So, but anyway, towards peak week and what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be logging this for you guys anyway and showing you roughly what I'm eating on my Facebook page. So check that out, facebook.com/RobStubbsPT. I'm going to put what I'm hitting for my daily macros. So, starting from Monday, tomorrow, I'm going to be start with my carbs. Now, how I'm going to be manipulating my carbs, I'm actually going to front load the carbohydrate intake. So rather than do like what I've done before and be on low carbs all week and then carb up like the day before or maybe 2 days before, I'm going to do it at the front end of the week, because what Lane Norton says is, and makes sense, is if you carb up at the start of the week and then on the day itself you're going to add a few carbs in when needed, you've got time to change anything that's gone wrong. If you've gone all week on low carbs and then carved up the day before, and you're not looking exactly how you want to look, there's no room for manipulation essentially. So starting with the carbs, tomorrow I'm going to go for 0.75 grams per pound of body weight. Tuesday 0.62, then 0.49, 0.36, and then on Friday and Saturday 0.23 grams per pound of body weight. So I've worked it out, and by the end of the week I'll be on about 43 grams of carbs over the day. My protein, I'm going to keep about 1 gram per pound until Thursday, where I got up to 1.25, and then Friday and Saturday I'm up to 1.5 grams, just to try and keep the calories in there while my carbohydrates are dropped. And then on Friday, fats, I'm starting them off on 0.3 grams, and then going 0.35, 0.4, 0.45, 0.5, and 0.5 on Saturday as well. So that's the diet side of it. But what I've also been doing is manipulating my sodium levels. Now, what that is basically I've been, over the past week, I've basically been salting all my foods, really getting loads of sodium into my diet. Then over the past 2 days I've been watching what I've been, so I've not been seasoning all my food with salt and that. I've been hitting 4,000 milligrams, that's 4 grams a day. Now on Wednesday I'm going to cut it down to 2 grams, and on Friday it goes down to 1.5 grams, and on Saturday it goes down to 1 gram. Now what that's going to do, that's going to help me look full and tight on the day. Now, because as I said to you, I mentioned about the water manipulation. Before, when I'd done my prep, I was, as I said, going through, I drank a load of water and then I literally cut it out on, went from say 5 to 6 litres, then on 2 days before I dropped it down to 3 litres, then down to say 1 litre, and then down to nothing on the day of the shoot. Now, this time round, what I'm doing is keeping my water intake exactly the same, and on stop drinking water about say 8 PM of prior to the show, and then show day just sip on water where necessary. Now on show day I'm going to do a video on what I'm going to do to prep throughout the day, but for now, as I said, I want to keep my my sodium levels manipulated to help with the water retention. So then on to training. So training, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with legs at the start of the week, because I want to try and basically deplete all my muscles now of the glycogen to really get basically deplete them ready for the carbing up on the day of the show. So legs and abs, I can probably do some Tabata sprints on Monday, then chest and back with some calves on Tuesday. Wednesday, some shoulders and arms and some abs and some more sprints. I'm going to be working with weights about 80%, maybe 75 to 80% of my normal weight that I push. Then on Thursday, I'm going to do an upper body session using bars and dumbbells in like a circuit fashion. And on Friday, I'm going to do another upper body session but using cables and machines. And then Saturday is going to be a rest day. So that I'm basically basing it on how I've been training at the moment, just so my body doesn't basically wonder what's going on in this. So basically to keep my body as used to what it's doing as possible, rather than doing any sudden changes. So at the end of the day, what I've done for myself has worked so far, so I'm not going to change anything now to try and manipulate anything anymore. So as I said, keep an eye out on Facebook, as I said, on facebook.com/RobStubbsPT for what I'm going to be doing every day. I'm going to post up my MyFitnessPal daily records, so you can see exactly how I've hit my macros. If you've got any other questions, thanks a lot for all the questions I'm getting on YouTube. Sorry, I keep forgetting to check the inbox, but if you hit me up on Facebook, I should be able to get back to you that bit quicker. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and until next time.